Back so soon? Welcome to part 2 of the mythical Quiztopia Gauntlet. 50 more questions stand between you and legendary status. Let the challenge continue. Question 51. Which island warlord kept a terrible weapon covered until the moment of battle, forcing allies to restrain it with bindings? The correct answer is Balor. Balor's killing eye had to be held shut with cords until battle opened it. Question 52. Which king threw himself into the sea after mistakenly believing his son had died? The correct answer is Aegeus. He saw black sails on his son's returning ship and assumed he had perished in Crete. Question 53. Which character is known as the mother of monstrous children, including a wolf, a serpent, and a goddess of the dead? The correct answer is Angerboda. Angerboda is the mother of Fenrir, Jormungandr, and Hel in Norse mythology. Question 54. Which forbidden figure was said to record lost spells in ink made from godly blood? The correct answer is Shadow Archivist. The Shadow Archivist was said to hoard forbidden scrolls of dark magic. Question 55. Which spider demon spun illusions of warriors and mist to ensnare the bravest of men? The correct answer is Tsuchigumo. Tsuchigumo are shape-shifting yokai spiders said to weave illusions that lure travelers to their doom. Question 56. Which sorcerer from abroad arrived with sons to blight a land's harvests until champions opposed them? The correct answer is Carman. Carman is a foreign witch whose blights threaten Ireland's crops. Question 57. Which sorceress turned Odysseus's men into animals on her island? The correct answer is Circe. She used magic to transform Odysseus's crew into pigs, then back again after his plea. Question 58. Which sorceress's repeated burning sparked the Aesir Vanir War? The correct answer is Gulveig. The Aesir burned Gulveig 3 times, and she survived, provoking war with the Vanir. Question 59. Which resurrected god returned from the Nile with scales of gold and eyes of fire? The correct answer is Sobek Reborn. Sobek Reborn was said to rise more powerful and monstrous after death, a fusion of god and beast. Question 60. Who glides into houses uninvited, sipping tea like a master returned home? The correct answer is Nurarihion. Nurarihion is known as the Lord of Yokai, a mysterious spirit who sneaks into homes and acts as if he owns them. Question 61. Which sea lord appears in finery of gold and black, offering tempting alliances that would bind rivals in tribute? The correct answer is Elatha. Elatha is a Fomorian noble famed for elegance and eloquence. Question 62. Which sorceress helped a Greek hero steal the golden fleece and later became his wife? The correct answer is Medea. She fell in love with Jason and used her magic to help him survive deadly tasks. Question 63. Who is known for leading the frost giants against the gods at the end of days? The correct answer is Hrym. Hrym's march from the east signals the arrival of Ragnarok. Question 64. Which shadowy figure is believed to cast curses that last generations in Egyptian folklore? The correct answer is Black Sand Witch. The Black Sand Witch was feared for her ancient curses that could plague bloodlines endlessly. Question 65. Who appeared as a dazzling courtesan whose beauty masked the heart of a nine-tailed fox? The correct answer is Tamamo no Mae. Tamamo no Mae was a fox spirit who disguised herself as a woman, bewitching Emperor Toba with her charm and wit. Question 66. Which towering foe hurled boulders before marching, using the shock to scatter skirmishers? The correct answer is Furious Giant. The Furious Giant opens battle with stone throwing to disrupt screens. Question 67. Which one-eyed giant trapped sailors in his cave and ate them alive? The correct answer is Polyphemus. He was a cyclops who devoured Odysseus's men and was blinded in retaliation. Question 68. Who was entrusted with the mead of poetry after his father was murdered by dwarves? The correct answer is Suttung. The dwarves killed Suttung's father, so he claimed the magical mead they had brewed. Question 69. Which figure is believed to carry an ancient satchel that leaks torment wherever they go? The correct answer is Cursebearer. The Cursebearer's satchel was said to be filled with cursed relics that infected all they touched. Question 70. Who dwells deep in the mountains, luring lost travelers with false warmth and a wicked smile? The correct answer is Yamuba. Yamauba is a mountain witch said to welcome strangers into her hut before devouring them when they sleep. Question 71. Which pirate lord returned after a plague to crush settlers who had briefly shaken off his yoke? The correct answer is Mork. Mork devastates the Nemedians after their numbers are thinned by plague. Question 72. Which trio of underworld spirits pursued those who committed crimes against family? The correct answer is the Erinyes. They punished acts such as matricide, patricide, and oath-breaking with relentless torment. Question 73. Who was born solely to avenge the death of Balder? The correct answer is Vali. Vali was conceived and born within a day to avenge his half-brother Balder. Question 74. Which figure once served pharaohs but was said to have replaced his own heart with obsidian? The correct answer is Heartless Vizier. The Heartless Vizier was believed to have sacrificed his humanity for eternal cunning. Question 75. Who was once a woman consumed by jealousy until her soul twisted into a horned demon? The correct answer is Hanya. Hanya represents the transformation of human envy and rage into demonic power, a symbol of passion's ruin. Question 76. Which Ulster champion is famed for a battle frenzy that twisted his body into a terrifying war shape? The correct answer is Cuchulainn. His battle frenzy, the Rheastrad, made him unrecognizable to friend and foe alike. Question 77. Which warrior monk stood his ground on a bridge so fiercely that legend says even death had to wait its turn? The correct answer is Benkei. Benkei's standing death at Gojo Bridge became one of Japan's most enduring images of loyalty. Question 78. Which humble farmer argued his case so eloquently that it was copied for centuries? The correct answer is Eloquent Peasant. The Eloquent Peasant is the hero of a Middle Kingdom story of justice. Question 79. Which hero was said to turn into a bear spirit during battle to fight for his king? The correct answer is Bodvar Bjarki. Bodvar Bjarki fought as a bear-shaped spirit during the Battle of Hrolf Kraki's Fall. Question 80. Which hero tamed the winged horse Pegasus and rode it into battle? The correct answer is Bellerophon. He caught Pegasus using a golden bridle given to him by the goddess Athena. Question 81. Which champion was famed for a beauty mark that inspired irresistible love at a glance? The correct answer is Diarmuid O'Dwybne. A love spot, Balm Cerc, upon his forehead made him wondrously attractive. Question 82. Who journeyed eastward under the guidance of a divine bird to found a nation beneath the rising sun? The correct answer is Jimmu. Jimmu is celebrated as Japan's first emperor, guided by a three-legged crow sent from the sun goddess Amaterasu. Question 83. Who guards the hidden gates between mortal and divine? The correct answer is Mysterious Doorkeeper. The Mysterious Doorkeeper appears in funerary texts as a guardian. Question 84. Which Norse hero was famed for his immense strength and tragic outlaw life? The correct answer is Grettir the Strong. Grettir was exiled and hunted for much of his life despite heroic deeds. Question 85. Which hero led the Argonauts in the quest for the Golden Fleece? The correct answer is Jason. He captained the ship Argo and gathered a crew of legendary Greek heroes. Question 86. Which High King led forces against a famed warband in a battle that marked their twilight? The correct answer is Cairbre Lifechair. He led the forces opposing the Fianna at the Battle of Gabra. Question 87. Who rose in rebellion against Kyoto's throne, declaring himself the new emperor of the East? correct answer is Taira no Masakado. Taira no Masakado's uprising in the 10th century made him one of Japan's earliest samurai rebels. Question 88. Which descendant of Setna faced new temptations of power? The correct answer is Setna Kamwas II. Setna's son continued the tradition of magical adventures. Question 89. Which Norse hero was famed for his seafaring adventures and cunning? The correct answer is Kettle Trout. Kettle Trout was renowned for his daring voyages and trickery at sea. Question 90. Which Greek hero beheaded a Gorgon and used her head as a weapon? The correct answer is Perseus. Perseus used Medusa's head to turn enemies to stone, even after her death. Question 91. Which youth astonished courtly onlookers by playing whole sides of a game single-handed? The correct answer is Satanta. As a boy, he dominated team games at Iman Macha. Question 92. Who disguised himself as a maiden to slay the barbarian chieftain that threatened his land? The correct answer is Yamato Takeru. Yamato Takeru used cunning and disguise to defeat his enemies, showing both intellect and strength. Question 93. Which primordial force represented chaos and disorder in Egyptian mythology? The correct answer is Isfet. Isfet personified chaos, injustice, and lies, the eternal enemy of Ma'at. Question 94. Which Greek king led the forces against Troy and clashed with a hero over a slave girl? The correct answer is Agamemnon. He provoked Achilles by seizing Briseis, causing a major rift in the Greek army. Question 95. Which chimera of cloud and shadow brought sickness to emperors and fear to Kyoto's knights? The correct answer is Nue. The Nue was a yokai with the face of a monkey, body of a tiger, and tail of a serpent, believed to spread disease and dread. Question 96. Who rules over the realm of the dead where those who die of illness or old age go? The correct answer is Hel. Hel presides over the realm also named Hel, distinct from Valhalla. Question 97. Which hulking fighter was chosen to meet the enemy's best in single combat before the armies closed? The correct answer is Fomorian Champion. The Fomorian Champion meets the Tuatha De Champion in ritual single combat. Question 98. Which fiery creature is said to leave trails of molten glass across the desert dunes? The correct answer is Scorched Serpent. The Scorched Serpent's movements melt sand into glass, forming cursed paths in the sun. Question 99. Which sea monster had multiple heads and snatched sailors from passing ships? The correct answer is Scylla. She lurked in a cave opposite Charybdis and devoured sailors with her 6 heads. A mighty effort, champion of myth. With all questions conquered, post your final score and let us know which mythology was your favorite. Until next time.